I
not so
agree.
far away though.
I was gonna say, what is something you're bad at?
What I'm bad at? I mean, are you talking like skill or just like general
What is
everyday
something?
activity?
What's something you're bad at?
I don't know, dude. I tried juggling once. It was terrible. Like I feel like I have pretty good hand-eye coordination for playing basketball and baseball. Dude,
Juggling is
3 at a time
it
is
is.
wild,
I
right?
agree. I feel it's so weird. You get like the mental feeling. Like I confidently think I can
Right?
juggle, and then I
No, I'm the
can't
exact
juggle.
same way.
I can't
Also,
juggle.
also, pogo sticks.
There's I have never gotten
You
on
never
one
gone on one?
because I don't
I
want
I
to.
had a pogo stick back home, and I would try it in our garage,
Yeah.
and dude, I'd wipe out. I like I'd like
That
easily knock myself on the floor like 5 times, like
that
almost didn't get
hits.
back
You know what
up.
that hits though? Like unicycles.
I never tried one.
Dude, I have you seen the
Oh
guy on
my,
campus?
yes, with the giant
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it's so he rides by here at like 11 o'clock at night, and I'll be going
He's
home,
the tall
and I'm
one.
like,
Shit's crazy.
how do you get up there?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely like, what is he like getting out of the second story window
I think
of an apartment building and like crawling out onto this unicycle? How? Yeah, so we are in the GCU
yeah.
Esports
This is the
arena.
local thing.
This is the lounge behind us. This is what our podcast is named after.
They are
If you
the
guys are
lounge.
ever on GCU's campus, feel free to check it out. It's
It's fun.
building 57, second floor.
Don't wait. Don't guess. Like guess.
Guests,
Get 3 hours.
if you are a friend of a student
Yeah.
and you like are a guest here, you can come play for free. But you have to like have a
That's
friend that
that's
goes
worth
here.
it. That's worth it right there.
So it's kind of big. In other news, we just came out with our first um Passage to
Yeah.
Perfection.
Like big product. Like a bigger
Big
production video.
production. Um, and what it's based off, what it is, it's a docu series. It's
Yeah.
a documentary series about the happenings of like GCU esports and like how it came to be and what we're doing this year. And it's set to the same format as Optic's Passage.
Yeah.
This is like Optic
I really
did,
liked the format. It was
yeah, no, and
funny.
like Jay, our director, was like super passionate. He's like, I really want to try it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and Steven, who we just brought in, was like, yeah, this is dope. He's a big COD guy, so he knew Optic a lot. And he's
Yeah.
like,
For
yeah, I
sure.
want to try this. And all of us were like, dude, this sounds amazing.
I
Well,
the style, like the editing and everything. Honestly, I enjoyed all of it. There was not a
yeah,
single point where I was like not wanting to watch the video. I thought
yeah,
it was interesting. I'm a big fan of like documentaries though and stuff in general.
dude, like lore videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Video essays on like
Like
those
summoning
Destiny
salt.
lore. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, but
So, we've got
news. Breaking news.
breaking news.
Breaking news.
Well,
Rocket League.
before we go into that, I do want to mention we have so many events going on
We do.
in the lounge.
We do.
Currently, at the
Everyone.
moment, but at the time of this recording, we have got Community Week going on.
Oh
And
yeah.
what it is, Corbin and a bunch of his other fellow community leads get together with their peoples and they just
7
play
p.m. to
games.
12 p.m. We got events rolling.
Yeah.
Posters all around campus. Mostly if you come to the arena and you check out, like if you have a bigger game and you're like, hey, maybe this game has an event. And they do.
100%. Oh,
Hours.
easily.
Yeah. I know Dead by Daylight has like a longer time tonight. So basically stop by the arena for that. I know literally next week too, we got Women Wednesday and Ladies Lounge back to back. Wednesday,
Oh, that's
Thursday,
right.
Wednesday, Thursday. So um those will be good to get events for ladies. And if guys come to the ladies lounge on Thursday, and you're wearing pink, you get free hours at the gaming arena,
It's
which is a
huge.
huge
I'm always
opportunity.
wearing my pink.
Yeah, pink's fun. Pink's fun. Free hours is fun, and overall,
It's
everyone
just a good
everyone that
time.
shows
It's
up
just
is
a
a
good
good
time.
time. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's literally like ladies lounge is perfect because it
yeah,
doesn't feel any different than a
yeah.
normal day, but you get free hours.
Exactly,
So it doesn't feel
exactly.
like an event. It just feels
Yeah,
like we're in
feels
the
like you're hanging
lounge.
out with
We're
people.
gaming with the boys,
Yeah,
gaming with the friends, and then we're just chilling.
game of the gals.
Gaming
You
with the gals. Gaming
know,
with the
there you go.
that could have been a good title for ladies lounge. Gaming with the gals.
Gaming with the gals. Yeah, maybe.
Um,
Who knows?
but so you're Rocket League,
I am the Rocket League guy,
and
so
there has been some
big drama.
controversy
Big drama. We got
going in around Rocket
yeah.
League's player to player trading system.
So the player to player trading is undoubtedly like a part of Rocket League. Like it is grown through several years of Rocket League's existence, and some people really just trade mostly in Rocket League instead of play the game. And yeah, it's they basically like are just gonna take it out completely and almost have it similar to like Valorant, where you buy something and you have it in your inventory forever.
Right,
So
but like as okay, coming from a guy who doesn't really play Rocket
yeah,
League, what is so like doesn't Rocket League have like most of their old skins like in the store? Like isn't like are
um,
there like what's like why is player to player to trading like such a
yeah.
like
So
important thing? If because I know like Epic
yeah,
is big on like make as much money as
yeah,
possible,
yeah,
so they're
yeah.
just like, oh, this is an old skin. We'll just put it
We'll
in the
put it back in.
store,
Yeah,
and then
people
whenever
buy
people
it.
get it,
Yeah,
they'll just buy it because they're
yeah.
like, oh, this is
Yeah.
so cool.
And that's
So
and
like,
that's definitely a thing that's happened.
okay,
Like there's been rare skins and they just put it in the store and it's like tank the price.
really,
But there
okay,
is items in the game right now
yeah,
that are single-handedly like the rarest.
okay,
There's
like
like
non-obtainable at this point.
non-obtainable. There's white hats. I think they're still in the game. They should be. Um, basically, if if players of the community like found like weird bugs or something and they report it to Epic, or at least Psyonix used to do this, then you get a special white hat because you're a white hat hacker, um, helping out the community and stuff by finding something. And there is like I think there's only like 15 or more in existence.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty rare. And it used to be things like that too before Epic changed the item shop to like it's basically like a Fortnite item shop now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You just like
yeah. But before they did that,
it was solely reliable on like player to
opening
player.
crates,
Okay,
watching Twitch streams, you can get drops. And so
okay,
drops used to be really rare too. And I don't think Twitch drops have been in store either. So those are another way to
okay.
obtain kind of rare
So
items.
so there are
Yeah,
certain items in there that people
yeah.
want,
And especially the biggest thing is alpha items. So alpha items
like
came
alpha
out
like in alpha. Okay,
in the alpha of Rocket League, and only there's limited of those,
yeah.
and they're some of the like the most sought after items, and people will spend like $5,000 for like
So there
one
is like a
item.
market behind it.
Yeah,
It's like CS
there's a
like a
market
CS:GO
behind
market
it.
behind it.
Yes,
Okay.
and so if you buy that for 5,000, and the player to player trading bans player to player trading,
You just
you
have
just spent 5,000 on an item that you'll never be able to get value back out of.
so basically at this point it's like it's no longer like player to player trading, it'll be like account buying, like
Yeah,
selling accounts and
yeah,
stuff like that.
probably it'll come to that at that point. Um,
So people are
so
going to be really looking like is so do you think like item like player to player trading items are going to see an increase in price so that they're because like
like
our
before the trade,
before like
before
because this is going into effect in like a couple
soon,
like
like
soon like a couple
soon,
weeks
like December, I think
or
maybe
like yeah a
maybe
couple
a little
months.
before if I'm not
So
mistaken.
like
Yeah, I think it's December 5th.
if there's one of those like rare items, um, and and people know that other people can't get it anymore,
Yeah.
you think that's going to see an increase in price in those items? Like,
Hmm. I don't know. See, because it goes back to like, would people really want to spend that much money on something they're not going to get much back on?
okay,
Right. But at the same time, it's also a
they're never going
novelty.
to be able to get
They're
it
never going to be able to
again.
get it again,
And
especially
honestly,
alpha
when like
items.
accounts go on,
Yeah,
like when
I
they start
guess
selling accounts, they're
accounts.
probably
Yeah,
going to like start bumping
you bring up a
prices on
good
those
point there.
anyways.
Yeah, I mean, like lots of games have had account trading, and probably every game has some sort of way of selling accounts somehow, some way or another. Um, but yeah, and the biggest, like, one of the biggest items too in Rocket League that's was kind of in quotes easily accessible, but um, ill sought after was the White Octane, another one. And basically, after Epic
Oh my goodness.
placed it into the store, it used to be before the store. I should preface it probably was hung around like $100, and they put it in the store for like $8.
Really?
Yeah,
And they used
and
to be like a rare. It
yeah,
was
I
like a
mean, I
legend,
bought it.
like legendary
I
drop.
bought it. So well, it's like in Rocket League, you can open drops and do trade ups. So if you trade
Yeah.
like 5 rare items, you
Oh,
get a
they got
very
trade
rare
ups too.
item. If you
Yeah.
trade 5 very rare items, you get an import item.
Okay.
It's an import item, and
Oh,
you do those trade ups, and you can get colored import items, and colored import items are semi rare. And then there's so many. You got to think about like the database.
Yeah,
There's so many import items that are colored that it's super rare, slim
to
chance
get
to get
a
a white
titanium
octane.
white.
So I've
Okay.
I've been close. The funny thing is, I traded up and I got a gray octane, which
Oh,
is like the biggest troll because when they shows
because
you
it
the
looks
picture, it
very
looks really
similar.
white.
That's funny.
So I'm like flipping. I'm like, oh my god, oh my, and I'm
I
like,
got it. I got it. I got it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't get it.
I didn't get.
That's
It's like
unfortunate.
getting baited on like some sort of like knife in CS:GO or something. I
Yeah,
can't.
that's kind of wild that like we've seen so much success with CS:GO's
Yeah,
trading
yeah,
system that
exactly.
you would think that like instead of banning player to player trading, they would just make it more like they would make items rarer.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I feel like maybe there could be a way where um they currently have like trade banned items.
Yeah,
Okay, but maybe after like the deadline of December 5th, they could like make everything past that point trade banned, no matter what, so that anything before you could still trade, but anything after December 5th is like you can't trade any of those items anymore. Because then it would still bring like the chance of some of the rare items we were talking about earlier being
yeah.
able to be traded around.
I don't know. It just
Makes
seems
it tough.
like there's a market for it, and
Yeah.
there's um been people before that have done it,
Hmm.
and getting rid of something that they know works, it just seems kind of unreasonable.
Yeah. No, I get that.
It
Um.
almost it's and it almost seems like uh Epic is using this as a way to keep like money out of the community's hands and into their
Yeah.
own
Into their
hands because it's
hands.
like from now on out you have to get it from the
Yeah.
store, you have to wait it out, or you just don't get it at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Epic is like, well, we get to make all the money now, and
Yeah.
now that player bans are gone, and you guys can't pay for stuff. Like, haha, you don't
Yeah. I
get to
know.
make any money. We get to make all the money. So it's just kind of
It's kind of
scammy.
it
It's kind of
is
scammy.
scammy a little bit, but at the same time, it's like when you mentioned how like CS:GO has had a really strong market with all that, but like
Oh
Epic has like had a really good chance with Fortnite, so they saw how they made profits,
yeah,
and it's like it's never gonna be as big as CS:GO crates.
yeah.
CS:GO crates are a staple almost,
And
but
they're so
you know,
like not even iconic, but like I feel like the rarity. If you look at the percentage of getting a knife,
yeah,
it's like less than 1%, and then getting a rare knife within that less than 1%,
yeah,
and then getting the right float
yeah,
within that
is
rare
just
knife
crazy.
within that less than
Yeah,
1% of getting a
even
knife.
and like
It's
patterns and all that.
I
It's
think like the
crazy.
most expensive knife is like 15 or it's like
It's so
1.2
much.
million, 15 million. It's so much
It's so
money.
much.
So like whoever has it in their
Some
inventory
like
is technically a millionaire with their assets
it's
involved.
some like
And it's like,
prince
what?
somewhere, like do
It's like why? Like
yeah,
that's like art. It's like people buy it not
yeah.
even to like enjoy it, just to say that they own it, you know? So it's wild.
And like with Epic too, they've had cases in the past where like um basically the way they've had item shops, at least in Fortnite, it's been said to like trick. I mean, that's the case. At least the FTC's saying that Epic has to pay back people
Yeah.
um, for almost tricking their audience into like spending money to buy things, and that can kind of transfer for Fortnite over to Rocket League and almost dig a bigger hole for them sometimes out of their pay cut. But I feel like they still see a way of making profit somehow.
I was gonna say like
So
the Fortnite thing is big because and this has been going on for like I think a couple years
it's
now.
been going on for so
Like
long,
like
which is
like
wild.
like like pre-COVID, I think that this was like a big topic of
Yeah.
conversation because you'd see like when like they're like in short form media, like around when TikTok came out, there was like this big thing where like you'd see lawyers on TikTok
I
talking
saw
about like
that too.
if you played Fortnite between the this year and this
You are
year, you are
obligated to lose.
obligated
Yeah.
to to file for this lawsuit to get money back. And it's like, well, what's this about? And it's literally they were taking advantage of the fact that in Fortnite it was like a PG game, so it was like
Yeah.
13 and up.
So many
Like
kids
13s don't under
too.
like at 13, you really don't understand how money works,
No.
right? So you're like, "Oh, credit card. Oh
I'll just buy
this
this.
isn't real money. I'll
Yeah.
just throw it into Fortnite and buy V-Bucks and
Yeah.
buy skins."
Yeah.
And then like people are realizing like I spent Like
So much money.
5 grand on this
Yeah,
game? Are you kidding me? Like
yeah.
they're all growing, like all
It
these kids are growing up now and they're like,
wow,
whoa,
that's a lot of money.
I did not understand
Yeah.
this, but they made it so enticing and made it seem so reasonable.
No, I agree.
And then everybody's like, oh,
Yeah,
can we sue them for this? And then the lawyers are all like,
there's a way.
yeah, probably. So now they are, and there's like a massive lawsuit going on right
I
now over
know.
that. It's
I have
crazy.
a feeling that lawsuit's like coming close to an end, or at least the FTC is now having Epic pay back people if you put in claims.
Hmm.
So I think it's kind of resolved at this point, but there's still fund in the claims, so
Yeah,
people can still refund and put in claims for their money
I think yeah, there's definitely
still. But
like a vault of money that
I
if
think
you put in a claim,
because other companies have had to do this
yeah,
too,
oh yeah,
like not just gaming companies, but
I had to
where
pay
they have
back
to
people where they're
yeah
like
they had to have
scamming. Yeah,
a whole area dedicated to giving back to people who
yeah, it's like in their
wrongly
yearly budgets, like
wrongly
pay back the people
misused.
we screwed over.
Yeah, imagine that being
It's
on the
like
budget.
yeah, it's like renovations, payment for employees, paying back the people we screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny.
There's that.
Um, so because we were talking about
Yeah,
like CS and
yeah,
like how their trading system works, and you mentioned the bugs in like Rocket League, how they
yeah,
get hats.
yeah,
There's a massive, I don't know, it's not like a glitch, and it's not really a bug. It's just like because of how the game works.
yeah. The
There's
new system and
the
all that.
new
CS2
system
is
is
wild.
screwed, and it's causing what people are calling the Michael Jackson peak
Oh
in
gosh.
CS2.
Oh no.
And basically what it is, there was in like old CS:GO and like Valorant as well, there's a thing called a Ferrari peak, and it's
Ferrari peak.
basically
Yeah.
it's literally there's a thing that came out called a pop and swing, and it's where you just keep
Oh, I've seen
moving.
that.
You
I've seen
you
that.
just keep moving until and like the person keeps firing, and you just stop and you shoot.
Shoot.
What a Ferrari swing is you move as fast as possible, you stop in your tracks and you shoot. And it does and you basically you're just not giving the other person enough time to
What?
react.
That's
So
crazy.
instead of pop and swinging where you're giving them time to react, but they're just like failing to
Yeah.
shoot you, Ferrari peak is just not giving them an option
Yeah.
to shoot you back. Now, with the CS:GO subtick system, people are using that Ferrari peak and realizing that the player models can't follow
Yeah.
the rate at which they are moving in the
Yeah.
game and sending the information over. So what it does is their player model, their legs like extend at a 45-degree angle, their body is vertical, and then but on their screen, they're standing perfectly still.
What are you even supposed to shoot at? Because I've seen it a little bit. Like, is the hitbox
The hitbox
following?
follows.
Oh, it does
So
follow.
so because to you, like say
Yeah.
like I'm peaking, like
Yeah.
I'm hitting the Michael Jackson peak and you're the one trying to shoot me, to me, I'm all the way over here. Like I'm
Oh,
where
okay.
my player model should be,
Yeah.
but to you, I'm like I'm at that diagonal.
Yeah.
So it's literally just
Huh.
it's just a mix between bad ping and the new subtick system
Yeah.
that just causes this to happen,
Yeah.
and it's fully an advantage on the
Yeah.
peaker.
Kind of.
It's
I want to kind of see
it's
take a glimpse
it's like going back
because
on
I looked at kind of
it's so funny. It's
it's so
he literally just is leaning at a 45-degree angle and
I don't think
like
if I had to peak that, I don't think I'd win that engagement anytime.
so like if you look at it here when he leans
It's
right
it
there,
looks like he's falling.
so right here, the hitbox is perfectly upright
Okay.
to this. So like if I was the one peeking there, I'm at a full standstill, perfectly
Yeah.
upright. But to you, I look like I'm hitting the
Laying down. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just weird, and it's literally just because
The tick system.
the tick rate.
Yeah.
And in CS, it was a and what tick rate is it's the rate at which information is sent
Yes.
to the servers to then be sent to you. So the more ticks there are, the more information there is,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. I've played a little bit of CS:GO,
Yeah.
and I know like people were talking like tick rate and all that, and sometimes you could get into like face it servers with 128 tick rate, but
Hmm.
um
Like yeah,
all the normal
the
matches like
original, like the
64.
regular game runs in
Yeah.
64, or at least CS:GO did.
Yeah.
and everybody was like, okay, CS2 comes out, give us
Yeah.
128, give us that updated tick rate because and it goes back to the Ferrari
Yeah.
peak. The Ferrari peak works because of the low tick rate system
Yeah.
because the information isn't getting sent to your PC
At a
until
fast
that
enough rate.
person has
Yeah.
already peaked you and killed you.
Oh
And like
yeah.
that's why the Ferrari peak was so dangerous. So people just were like, just give us more information, give us more to work with while we're playing. And
Yeah.
instead they're like, what if we don't? What if we come up with an entire new system that's supposed to be better,
Yeah.
but
Theoretically,
actually it
it should
just
be.
sucks?
Yeah. No, it's what even it's not 128, but what did they call it again? It was like
It's
uh gosh, it was adaptive or something like that, like a tick rate
yeah,
that
I don't
I don't know. I know it has like subticks. It's basically like
yeah,
the
I was like,
gist
honestly,
and stuff. So
it's supposed to be like it's supposed to just be better than
yeah,
64. Um, but I think it's not working with the system that they had in place
yeah,
to work with a regular tick rate system.
yeah. I can
Because I
see it.
mean, like CS:GO, let's be honest, it's not that different.
No,
Or CS2 is
no,
not that different from
no.
CS:GO besides like the
It's newer
smokes,
graphics,
newer graphics, but
smokes.
like
Supposedly
the
tick rate should have been
fundamentals
better.
of the game are probably copy and paste.
And
So
maybe they did. You ever think about that? Maybe they did copy and paste some of it, and it didn't flow with the code to make the tick rates
yeah,
almost work properly.
so
And maybe a little laziness on
it honestly feels like it because I don't know what they thought going into it. They're like, we need to do something different than every other game in the industry that is running on this tick rate
exactly.
that works.
It was a lot of hype.
It
Like I feel
is.
they put so much hype into it and didn't execute on launch. And in my opinion, I feel like a lot of companies nowadays, like if they hype something up so much, but then they keep delaying it, like they're not ready. You ever think about that? Like you know when Cyberpunk came out and it was just awful.
I I never played
Yeah,
Cyberpunk.
I never did
I
too, but I
saw
saw
all
the
the
hype
hatred about it. Yeah,
and the hatred. Yeah, and it was just awful. But
it was.
now,
It's beautiful.
now it's like an incredible game,
That's
and it's like
honestly
if they took their time and waited,
it's
yeah,
crazy that like you mentioned that because there was one game that I did play on release. And it's called No Man's Sky,
yeah,
and
I've
it
seen
is the
that.
largest world-based game to ever exist. Just
Really?
if there's this picture out there, and it or a video, and it goes through the size in square kilometers of each map
Yeah.
of like different games. So it goes through like GTA Vice and like Skyrim and stuff like that in Minecraft, where Minecraft is like 1.2 billion kilometers squared
Yeah.
from like corner to like
Yeah.
because it's like in
It's
in an
infinite.
infinite
Yeah.
world. When you get to the end, it's so many blocks out. I No Man's Sky is like 64 quintillion
Whoa,
kilometers squared, just
that's
because it's like
absurd.
literal light years
Yeah,
that you have to go between worlds.
that's
But on
crazy.
release, it sucked.
Yeah.
There's no content.
Hmm.
It was basically just the same repetitive thing over and over and over again when you went between galaxies,
Yeah.
and then they started throwing stuff in the game, and it's
Yeah.
actually like a good game now.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I don't know if companies are just wanting to do that to get their game out there, see how community reacts, and then build up their game off of that
Yeah,
almost, or because sometimes I feel like communities can almost peer pressure um games, and I feel like personally I feel like that happened with Cyberpunk. People were wanting it like now, and hey, I want Cyberpunk now, 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 and it's like it's not ready, but we'll give it to you, and then they give it to you, and then they're bad, and then the community's like, this is bad, this is bad, I don't like it. Um, but I don't know. I feel like Cyberpunk almost like shrugged their shoulders and was like, "We'll fix it over time." Like
yeah,
that's the whole point of a game. Updates come out, make it fresh. So hopefully, when CS2 updates, some of their tick rate systems and stuff will be better.
yeah. And I mean, it's just weird because like it's just supposedly like instead of getting information 64 times a second,
Yeah,
which is like what a tick is. Like
yeah, I
it's
know.
they're 64 hertz. It's running. It's like frame rate almost.
Yeah,
It's like every
exactly.
second this is happening and we're sending it to you. But like the subtick rate, it's supposed to be more instantaneous,
Hmm?
but it feels like it's actually slower.
Yeah,
It feels like
it looks
there
slower too,
it does, and like that's like where the peak is
which
coming
is
from is
weird.
just the slow tick
Yeah,
rate going into effect,
yeah,
and it's literally like like it would have been better to have 64
Yeah.
than what feels like 30,
Exactly.
16, it
Exactly. Or
almost feels like
looks like
one
30
a
even.
second.
Like if it looked better too.
Yeah, and like there's to a degree it feels nice. Like the game still feels similar, but and on it it's like it's not a big thing. But like I think it's because of a mix between the subtick rate
Yeah.
and just ping
Yeah.
differential between players. There's just some discrepancy in there where the subtick rate can't handle the same amount of data as a normal tick rate
Did
can.
by chance did you see like any of the clips where people were crouching in CS2 and the hitboxes were different? That
Yes.
was wild too.
It was like while they were
They're, yeah,
defusing.
if you're
If
facing
if
down,
your head was down,
yeah,
your hitbox would be
it's
like up
still up.
here.
It's still
They
up.
they they fixed it
They did.
to a
Okay.
degree. I have a feeling that there are still some hitbox irregularities in the
Yeah,
game
there's gotta be.
because CS doesn't have first shot and accuracy like
Yeah.
Valorant does. First shot will hit exactly where you're aiming. And let me tell you, there are sometimes I will be on a dude's head
And it's
and
just
that shot will not land. And
yeah.
then I'll just keep tapping. Like he won't know where I'm shooting him from. He'll just be like, "What?" So I'll just tap,
Tap
tap,
tap tap.
tap,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't. I
Something
It's
maybe.
weird.
It's gotta be something with the tick
There's
rate
something
for
up with it.
sure.
Going back to Epic,
Yes.
um, they recently or they bought Psionics a while ago.
Oh yeah.
It was like 2016?
And no.
Is
It
it
was like 2020,
really?
2021. Yeah, it was pretty recent.
I thought it was way
No,
earlier.
2016 is basically a year after Rocket League created the game. Like a
Okay.
few months
Oh,
actually.
was oh I
Yeah.
guess
That's when the game came out.
okay. Well, I'm going crazy then.
Yeah, you're chilling. You're chilling.
But so they bought Psionics.
Yeah.
Rocket League went free to play,
It did. It did.
and
It was
then
kind of a highlight, not gonna
it
lie,
was,
for a
and then
while.
they put it on like Steam, or no, they took
They
it
took it off
off
Steam
Steam because it
because
was
it
on
was paid.
Steam. It
Yeah.
was pay to play, and they took it
Yeah.
off Steam, which I think is really ironic that they still let people play that. Like I feel like
On
they would have
Steam.
just shut the
Yeah.
servers down.
Well, people it's like again, it's like a novelty. I don't know.
That's true.
Rocket League people like novelties. It's kind of interesting.
I feel like I wouldn't buy a Steam
Yeah.
account just to play Rocket League on
No,
Steam.
some people do because it's just like
Just
it's just a thing.
I
It's a
hate
stigma.
Epic.
It's a stigma almost. With like, if you're a really good player,
Yeah,
people are like, "Why aren't you on Steam?" So people just buy Steam. But
but
people also like PFPs, like, and you can only have
yeah,
a profile picture if you're on Steam.
okay.
So,
Um,
that's the thing.
but
But
with Epic going through like a bunch of stuff,
yeah, lots of money
they're
stuff.
lots of money stuff. They're laying off like 16%
Yeah,
of their employers
yeah.
or like in their employees, which is
So
like
absurd.
like even like 16% doesn't seem like a big number, but when you think about how many people work at Epic Games
A lot.
between their like and
It's a big
this
company.
probably isn't just like game devs. This is
Yeah,
probably like marketing, graphic design,
yeah,
like game developers. I mean like even maybe some of the higher ups are getting
yeah.
laid
I'm
off.
pretty sure one of the head guys for like Fall Guys
Really?
was laid off. Yeah, like he was like one of the almost creators of Fall Guys, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
That's wild.
which is crazy. Like that's a
I mean
game
like
that also blew up
it
and made
did
a lot of
blow up.
money.
It did.
Yeah. So
Never played it, but
never played it.
never played it.
It's kind of fun.
I'm not a big party game
I
guy.
went through that with Mitch over there. Mitch showed me some Fall Guys for sure. So,
I
but
don't know. It always looked like
it's a casual game.
it is, but it always looked kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
It was a little. It was like I'm not a big like multiplayer party game like that. Like I enjoy it every so
Yeah.
often, but it's just not my vibe, you
Yeah.
know. So I would never got into it. But it's wild. Like
Mm.
16, like that's
Just
almost like 16
yeah.
percent. Looking at this, it's like 1,000 people,
Yeah.
almost 1,000 employees getting laid off from their jobs. That's that's insane.
That's so much people. Like,
Like
it's I don't know. I mean, there was a point in time too when I was like younger, thinking like, man, how does Epic have all this money? And you got to think like there is definitely a point where Fortnite is slowing down, and they're trying to reboot it with some things, which is good. I think they're doing some good things there, but you're never gonna be where you were at peak Fortnite.
yeah,
There is so much.
like
So
season 4, season 5, Paradise
ever think how
Palms,
much
the
money they were
Cube.
making like per
Right around when
month?
the Cube came out and like
Oh
rifts and
gosh,
stuff,
yeah,
that was peak
that was wild.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
Like I genuinely hated build, but I would play Fortnite just because of how fun it was.
yeah.
Like I couldn't get the building down, but I would play it because it was fun.
I played controller. Fortnite way back.
I I
Um,
I never I wasn't even controller at that point. I was still
yeah,
playing mouse and
I
keyboard.
the reason I stopped like I kid you not, I used to try to like play competitively with my
Mhm.
friend. He was way better than me, but I'd
Yeah.
still like be his duo if we
Yeah.
tried to play tournaments and stuff. Um, and I my fingers started to like it was
Really.
like it was like
Bro
I
was
was getting
playing
carpal tunnel.
too
I was like,
much.
I'm done.
That's
That
funny.
kind of put me onto Rocket League because I was like, this is a I gotta move like 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Like I'm a lot more chill this game, so that's kind of why I
Yeah, I mean,
swapped.
like, I feel like after honestly, when I started seeing the downfall, it was, like, right after, Bugha won the world championship.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that was
I feel
that.
like that was, like,
That
the
was
peak, like, that was their
climax
first
right there.
world championship. This 16-year-old kid just won
3 million.
3 whatever
Yeah,
$1,000,000, and then it's like, "Well, where do we go from here?"
yeah.
Like, Valorant's a
How do you
team-based.
upscale that
Yeah, like
almost?
Valorant's like a team-based thing where you can do that over and over again,
Yeah,
and teams are gonna get better, things are gonna get better. But like Fortnite, so like for I feel like if they had to do something, you'd have to like go back to like run like a doubles tournament or something like that.
yeah.
But I feel like
Even
their
then,
spotlight in of tournaments is just like down the drain.
it's like there's definitely still a skill curve that you can grow, but that's with the building factor.
Yeah,
And honestly, in my opinion, the building factor is not the most watchable. No. And so like that's why Valorant is so good, like you mentioned, is because you obviously people improve via team play and they come back every year, but
yeah.
it's so watchable because it's simple combat, you're fighting, and Fortnite is just like so much is happening.
I feel like, and like with
So much.
building, I feel like that's all you're watching. Like there's
Yeah.
like
Nowadays,
like
yeah.
zero build. Honestly, watching zero build is like way more
Yeah.
interesting
It's kind of fun.
because it's more gunplay. Whereas building, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go 500 blocks up into this, like builds up into the sky, get one
Yeah.
pump shot off,
Yeah.
and then some random third party just shot my tower
Yeah.
out, so now I'm dead.
Exactly.
Like it just seems
It's
so.
hard to watch, like
It's
I feel
hard to
like.
watch now, and like we're seeing that with
And
like the fall, like Fortnite slowly declining, like Apex getting big now, which is
yes,
huge.
because the
Finally getting
I
collegiate.
believe it's Apex is so fun. That's my like right now. I mostly just play Rocket League and I'm a Tarkov guy. I
Really,
like
I've wanted to play Tarkov for
it's
so
so
long.
fun. It's so fun. But below that, like if I had to play another game, I would play Apex a lot of the time
Okay,
nowadays because my brother plays it a lot, so I play it with him. And yeah, no, honestly, the comp play for that game is
it is.
really fun. I love
Even
watching it.
watching that game is insane because it's so much end game.
Yeah,
The end
end
games,
games are
watch
crazy,
it
but
if
they're
you
fun to watch.
haven't seen like an Apex end game, watch when like watch the one where TSM
Yeah,
won the like ALGS in
yeah,
their end game. It's insane.
yeah. No, and this last season, like this last big tournament, too, where TSM won again. Um, I'm a big fan of Dojo because they got it's Timmy on there, and he's like a content creator slash pro player.
Yeah,
But he started with content and then did pro stuff. Um, he is pretty entertaining to watch, so I was like voting for him. But they did last chance qualifiers, right? And most, not much people have high expectations for last chance qualifiers, but they finished fourth in the whole tournament,
yeah.
which is impressive. And no one thought he could like ever do that. So it's just crazy how I mean TSM has been winning a lot, but we're still seeing a lot of teams that are just
Competing.
competing and doing really good,
Yeah,
even if they're not on like a big org team.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think there was one team like I don't know the name Xset comes into my. It's something like
I've
an
seen them on there.
with like
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it or whatever, but I think there was like a clip where one of their players like threw or like griefed
Oh really?
FaZe or TSM
Yeah,
or
teams did
something,
that.
like throwing the Horizon queue and sending them up. I was like, it's so funny to see stuff
Oh,
like that.
I know what you're
I
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, where it was a solo
it's a
player
solo
and
lurking.
they know that TSM was like on match point for a
Yeah,
game, and what they did is
they threw the Horizon
they threw the
queue,
Horizon for a different
die,
team.
for not
Yeah,
himself, yeah, for a
yeah.
full 3-man. I think it was like
And then they
FaZe or
pushed
something.
TSM and then killed TSM so
Yeah,
that the tournament would keep going.
yeah,
That was
it
wild.
was insane.
That was wild for sure.
Um, yeah, I mean, just it's a lot of it's like a lot of new games being popularized,
Yeah,
that like were have been out for a while, but you didn't see a lot of just because
yeah,
there wasn't like a place for it. Like Apex had
Really, yeah,
ALGS, and honestly, like, and this may just be coming from a collegiate standpoint.
yeah,
Collegiate carries esports
yeah,
heavily.
yeah,
I mean, like, there to a certain degree, you're not going to have esports without pro scene,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
you
There's a
you
lot of
can only
young
get so
players.
much from pro scene,
Yeah,
right? Collegiate just has so much like
yeah, variety.
variety and like it's so random.
Yeah,
Like you never know what's gonna
and
happen in collegiate.
it's like the skill level's a little less obviously than some
Yeah,
pro games, but that's what honestly sometimes makes it more fun.
it is more fun to
Yeah,
watch.
and it because it's like I could be that person.
Yeah,
You know, it's more relatable.
yeah, because
Relatable content.
like right now, I could
Yeah,
be like I could watch like an Apex
yeah,
like an Octane tournament, and be like, whoa, I could probably do that.
yeah,
they're like my age.
yeah.
Like
It's
I could
it
learn to
honestly
play
draws
Apex,
people
and
in too
it
for like
does.
collegiate, and they're like, oh, I know I'm not gonna maybe turn pro, but collegiate's fun. Like I
Yeah,
can do that, and that's for a lot of games too. Like
yeah. I mean, like COD,
yeah,
we've got like MW2 was out for a while, and like there was a big collegiate scene with that, and then like CCL got shut down,
I did see that.
the Collegiate COD League.
Yeah,
So don't know what's gonna
we'll
happen with
see.
that,
Well, someone might
but
pick it up. Someone might
hopefully
do something.
because we're getting a new COD coming out,
New COD, man. New
which
COD.
is wild because if you look at the game, it's basically CS:GO to CS2.
Yeah.
It's updated
Yeah.
graphics, updated this and that, but it is basically just a DLC.
I
It's
will
just a
say,
map pool.
so far it's performing better than CS2.
Yeah. I mean,
People love
I
to
mean
like it.
it's COD.
It's COD.
It's COD.
It's
Everybody's
hard to mess up.
I mean, they upped their price $10, but people are still
So
going to
they
buy
did.
it.
No, yeah.
People are
And
still going to buy COD
it's
because it's a name.
yeah, it's a name
It's
and
a
it's
name.
you ever think it's funny watching like people being like, "Oh, this COD's so bad." At the end like if it was Modern Warfare 2, they're just like I don't want to play COD ever again. I'm not buying another COD title. MW3 comes back out. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best COD I've ever it's ever
Right?
made. I'm gonna keep buying this."
And it's
It's
like
like a loop.
and they know that it's not a new game.
Yeah.
There's really no new content, and I think there might be like a zombies mode coming out, but it
Yeah.
doesn't
Okay.
look. I was
Yeah.
looking at like the leaks of like what it's supposed to be like. It doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
It looks more um like a DMZ mode.
Okay. Yeah.
Like DMZ was in Modern Warfare 2, and it's
Yeah.
just like an open world, like kind of like Tarkov. It's
Yeah.
basically like
Yeah.
a looter
I've
shooter
kind of seen that a little bit. Yeah.
version of zombies.
Yeah.
And uh Cold War did that as well. They had like one of their maps was open world. It's just so boring.
Yeah.
It's
No.
like
Yeah.
you have to
It's
go
pretty stale
across the map to complete an objective, and it just takes forever.
yeah.
Like whereas like you play
For a COD game too. Like
for yeah,
you're so
right?
used to
It's
the
so
fast
fast
pace.
paced.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get
That
like
I don't
D
know. I don't know if it
Machina
fits there.
in Cold
It's
War where it's super fast,
yeah.
where it's like you're through like 20 rounds in 15 minutes as long as you play it right. So it's just a completely different thing that I don't
Yeah.
know if they're just trying to make something work or if they're really invested in like this is how it's going to be, this is going to work, it's going to
Yeah.
turn out well and everybody's going to love it. But it feels like they don't really like listen
Nah.
cuz
Yeah.
nobody wants a DMZ
But
version of zombies.
the things with like companies like that too, from what I see from almost a business perspective, is they're always looking for something to maybe like leech onto or try to grow. Like, oh, let's try something new here. Maybe the community will like it, and then the community, and then they'll be like, we'll do this again. Right. And it's just like a business thing. Like they're not really hitting with anything other than COD,
Yeah.
but they have to keep trying because it's just business. Like it's really weird.
It is. Oh, and
It's
that's like the same thing with like Warzone versus Warzone 2. It's like nothing in the game really changed besides like a little bit of the play style,
yeah.
like the way you loot.
New map though, right? I think
New
too.
map, but like
Yeah.
they did that in Warzone. They
Yeah.
had like
Did they
three
change
different
them
maps in
around? I
Warzone
can't
based on
remember.
whatever the game it was. They had like
Yeah.
one for 2019. They had a new map for
Oh
Cold War,
right.
and they had a new map
Right.
for whatever that
Yeah.
COD everybody hated was.
I've vaguely played some of that stuff. You're talking about like Black Ops 4?
No, the one after Cold War, the one that's
I did. I literally stopped playing before Cold War started.
there was a
Was
COD.
it the World War II one?
I
I
don't
saw
think
that
so.
one. Let's see.
It was after It starts with a V, I think.
The
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Call of
Wow.
Duty Vanguard was
Vanguard. Thank you, Mitch.
genuinely
Thank you, Mitch.
probably one of the worst CODs to ever be released.
Yes.
Just because, and especially, I'm pretty sure it was Sledgehammer that made this COD and the zombies. It was bad.
Yeah.
Like, probably one of the worst. Yeah, Sledgehammer developed Call of Duty Vanguard.
Oof.
They usually have really good zombies, but
Yeah.
this one, it
Was
was just
just not pulling.
it was just how they set it up. It was like it was an objective based map. So like, it was very open. But there wasn't like doors in a
Yeah.
say. You would like run around the map, you'd find this portal, you'd go through the portal, you'd complete the objective, you'd come back to the main map, and you just do that over
Yeah.
and over and over again. It didn't feel like there was like waves, really.
Yeah.
It didn't have that same like, oh my goodness, I
Energy. Yeah.
gotta like we're at wave 200, we gotta keep going. There's gonna be like so many zombies coming through. We got to pack a punch. Blah blah blah. This
Yeah.
no. It felt more like, okay, where's the next objective?
Yeah.
Gotta run through this
Kind of
real
got
quick,
boring.
and it got boring fast.
That's why it's got pretty low
Yeah,
ratings
it's kind of.
from like a lot. Well, it's like mid ratings, I'd say.
I
But
mean,
it's
that's
it's
it's
Call of Duty.
probably low for a Call of Duty
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, even like 2019 was fairly highly rated.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so for Call of Duty to fumble that hard was wild. So
Pretty
I'm just hoping that Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare 3, they do something with it after it releases. Because if they're just gonna DLC Modern Warfare 2 using Modern Warfare 3, it's just gonna be weird.
it
It's
will
not
be.
gonna
It won't be enough for the community. It's like
100%.
really cool now. It's not gonna last 2 years.
No.
You have to come up with some stuff.
Yeah, I
So
mean 2019. Honestly, 2019 stayed alive through Cold War and Vanguard.
yeah.
And then when Modern Warfare 2 came out, it kind of was like, okay, this is the new 2019.
Yeah.
This is the new Modern Warfare. So
No,
let's try this out.
honestly, they've been pretty solid with the Modern Warfares,
Right?
but
Yeah.
everything else has been a little
Yeah.
lackluster. And I think again, they're so far at least with all the OG maps coming back, people are loving it on the Modern Warfare
Oh yeah. I mean, like
stuff right now. So
everybody loves a good 1v1 on Rust.
yeah, no, who doesn't? So uh, I've barely played like old CODs and stuff, but I know my brother right now. He's actually big into he got so he pre-ordered, so he got private beta access. And I asked him about it. He's been playing some of that, and he said it's been really fun, kind of nostalgic,
They
just
had
going
a
back.
they had a free play weekend this last weekend,
Yeah, they
and
did that
and
too.
like there was huge talk about it, how like it looks, but everybody is still saying the same thing. It's like this is not worth $70.
Yeah,
It's not worth a new
I'm
game.
not gonna spend
We'll just play Modern Warfare 2 until you give us
that.
something new.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get that. Especially like for $70 for a reskin,
Yeah. And I mean like and
DLC
the
shouldn't
big
be worth
thing
that
and
much.
like we've talked about it being a DLC. It's not like a joke. Like
Yeah, it's literally
all of your progression, all of your skins, all of your like items you've bought in Modern Warfare 2, whether it's character skins, gun skins, calling cards, stuff like that, it's all transferring over
yeah,
to Modern Warfare 3. So
yeah.
it's like
What's the point?
if we're keeping our progression, what is the point in playing this game? That's what
Yeah,
COD's all about. It's about
progressing.
getting like
People
leveling up
like
your
doing the
guns,
progressing. Yeah,
and like that's where the gameplay time comes from and getting the gold camos. But if you go into a game, you already have gold, plat, obsidian,
I
whatever.
didn't even know that. It's kind of
It's
lame.
like, what's the point?
Yeah.
At least
So
I believe that's still the case because
yeah,
that's what they said when they first announced Modern Warfare 3. They're like, everything is getting transferred over. So,
damn.
and I think that's like the big reason why everybody's kind of ticked off. It's like it's literally just a map pool. They're just
Yeah.
adding old maps that have been remade into the game.
I
So
mean, yeah. And like, kind of, we know their competitive scene is slowly slipping away.
dwindling, and with
It's
and
dwindling.
with CCL dying,
Yeah.
with like we mentioned, collegiate esports kind of carries the scene. With that being gone at the moment, or at least the biggest
Yeah.
source of that content gone at the moment, It's gonna be hard for Call of Duty to.
I'm don't they also have like you have to like buy into the competitive league for pros?
I
Um,
think so.
yeah, I think you have to buy in, and some teams are pulling out.
Really.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken, at least one or two. Um, and I think a team filled that spot already, but
Okay.
it's like it. I mean, it shows you at least that team doesn't want to be part of it anymore.
Yeah, they're not seeing like the appeal
Yeah,
to it.
they want to be in maybe like Valorant,
Valorant,
a bigger, growing, competitive scene. So yeah, it makes
and it's kind
sense.
of weird because the one I've actually seen a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's the bomb.
Halo is kind of making a comeback, like Halo Infinite.
Halo, I've seen
They
that
they
a little
have a
bit.
new season coming out, or that it is out, and people are saying that it's like it may bring Halo back to
Yeah,
life. Like it's never going to be like the days of like Halo 4 and Halo
yeah,
Reach, but for Infinite
yeah.
to actually be adapting
Hmm.
and like
I think they're doing
overcoming the
really good.
obstacles that they've met, I think it could be a potential game to that we
Yeah,
look for.
personally, I could. I mean, I am not much of a Halo guy, so I don't have much input. I played it a good bit,
Yeah,
several hours when the Halo
yeah,
Infinite first came out, and
yeah.
everyone was crazy. My brother was playing it, all my friends were playing it. I
It
was
was,
like,
it was
hop
a
on.
free Halo.
Yeah,
It was
let's
a
get in,
free
let's
Halo.
play it. It was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun for sure. I mean, personally, I didn't stick with it, but I could see it almost being like how Apex came out. People
yeah,
played it, it was fun. People forgot about it, and then they started doing really good things.
yeah.
I could see how Halo maybe might do that and then work their way back into the
Yeah, I
spotlight.
mean, the biggest thing at the beginning was that there didn't seem to be a competitive scene
Yeah.
for Halo, and that's why Infinite and like it was kind of buggy, kind of just didn't have a lot of content to Infinite, and people were like, "Well, let's just go play COD."
Yeah.
And let's just
Right?
like I think
But now people don't want to
Infinite
play
came
COD.
out around like I think it was in between like Cold War and Vanguard around that
Yeah.
time, like 2019, 2020. So people were like, "Well, there's a new COD out. Let's just go play that." Because
Yeah.
Infinite, I've already played through Infinite because there's not that progression
Yeah,
system
exactly.
like there was in COD. So, but now like there is collegiate Halo.
Hmm.
There's a competitive scene for
It's
Halo.
been
Like
out long enough.
Sentinels has a
They
professional
do?
Halo team.
Okay.
Um, so and now with like them constantly updating the game, paying attention to what the community wants, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
If you are listening to your community, you will get new people in there because they want developers that listen to their community.
exactly. Exactly. And that's for
EA,
people.
give us Titanfall 3.
Never. I know people love Titanfall though. I've never played it. But
They brought
people
the servers back up.
die by it. I did see that.
That
I
was
did see
there
that.
was like a massive spike,
Yeah.
and I think it's still kind of up in players.
When did they
It
do
was like
that?
3 weeks ago, like a
Yeah.
month ago.
It was wild, right? It was just random.
They were like, servers are back up, guys. Go play Titanfall 2. And we're like,
What?
what does this mean?
What is
Why
this?
are you giving us this? Are you giving us Titanfall 3? No.
Never,
And
never.
there's like nothing going on in Apex. It wasn't like, "Oh, here's some Titanfall lore in Apex. You should go play the game to figure out where it came from." I was like, "No, it was just here's the servers.
Mm.
You guys wanted it."
I know Titanfall is like a really like the community loves that game.
I honestly people
Loves it.
outside the community love that game. It's just so
I
iconic. It's one of the
won't let people
best
play it, man.
it's
I'm
one of the
like,
best movement
it's
games
really
to
good.
ever be created
Yeah.
in terms of FPS. Like BO3 was pretty good in
Yeah,
movement,
it
but
was solid.
Titanfall with wall runs,
That
mantles,
was all really
super jump, like you see there the big video and like people do this all the time are the speed runs in Titanfall
good. I've
2,
seen those.
like
Those are
the speed
crazy.
run course where they're just like tossing
Nades.
nades
Yeah, they're
and just
nade
like
jumping or
nade
whatever that
jumping.
is.
That was big even when Titanfall was dead.
Yeah.
It's like surfing in CS:GO. Like
Yeah.
there was like that
Yeah.
big time where everybody was just like surf servers, surf servers, surf servers.
Isn't is there C wait, is there's surfing in CS:GO too?
I don't think so because the
Oh no, yeah,
workshop is down.
they aren't doing that. You're right, you're
Workshop
right.
is still down. I want that to come back.
Oh, did you okay, wait, I will say there was leaks of workshop maps already right now on CS2.
Really,
Yeah,
because I
it was
installed
like
the workshop tools,
some workshop stuff.
and and it's just not there yet. I need that to come back though because I use crosshair
Mhm.
maps all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I used to
I'm
use
I'm
those
like
too.
I'm like I hate this crosshair. Let me go find a new one and
Yeah.
just click on that and be like, this is cool.
Yeah, this
And
is a
then it
good
kind of
looking
like help
one.
you perfect your aim. But right
Yeah.
now I'm like, I don't
I don't know
know
what
what
to
I should be looking
do.
for
Yeah,
in these maps.
yeah.
So,
No, I think I for sure saw it on if I'm not mistaken, TikTok. There was some still images of like groups of people in some sort of like community servers.
okay.
Um, at
That'll be
least
big
on
then.
CS2, and it was leaked, and it looked like surfing almost, and
Okay.
maybe like just some fun gun game maps or whatever.
I hope they bring it in
So
the next like few weeks. 'Cause
yeah,
I feel like porting that from CS:GO
can't be
shouldn't
that
be
bad,
can be
right?
shoot. I mean, they made a whole new game.
Maybe they're trying to expand that region because there's could be a lot more you could expand for community and like
Can you
workshop.
imagine like a Gmod version
Yeah,
of CS:GO
that'd be
Workshop?
wild.
That
That'd
would
be
be
wild.
huge. CS:GO Prop Hunt,
FPS
CS2
Gmod.
Prop Hunt.
So yeah, but
Oh, I forgot about this.
yeah,
Um,
open world.
let's
Talk about open world with freaking Fortnite's
yeah,
creative, all that. But Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen,
we are returning to the glory
we are
days.
returning to what was it? It was season 5, I
I
think, if
think
I'm
well,
not mistaken. Or wait,
it's like chapter 1.
it was chapter 1, season
Um,
some season 4 and 5.
season 4 and 5 was like Paradise Palms
That's what
and
they're doing.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that was well, it kind of changed because like throughout that season, that's when like the cube came in
Yeah.
and like started destroying
There's a
stuff. So
certain point.
there was like wait a minute,
Cuz look,
does that
just the
mean
day. They have the day.
yeah? Does that mean we're getting Loot Lake back?
Yeah. Well,
Loot
yeah.
Loot Lake was the greatest drop point ever,
You have to
especially
walk across the lake
well,
to get out.
but do you remember when? Do you remember playing when the cube
Yeah, was on it.
went
Or like,
into the
yeah.
no, not on
Oh,
it,
it
in
went
it
into the
when it
lake.
went into the
Yeah.
lake and made and people are
The
just like
island.
people are just bouncing on the lake
Yeah.
because like that's what the cube did. It just made you bounce.
Yeah.
It just the lake was
That
all
was fun.
bouncy. And you just see like 20 different people just jumping up and down, like trying to pickaxe each other.
Like
It was
boys.
honestly the best time of
Yeah,
Fortnite, and I miss it. And I'm glad that they're
we're
bringing
going
it back
back.
because I think we like people have been asking about this because I think they kind of reverted the map a little bit
Yeah.
in like chapter 2, season like 3 or something.
Yeah.
Like there was like a minor detail where they're like, here's one part of the old chapter 1 map that
Yeah.
we're putting into the chapter 2 map, but now they're going full on into just changing the map back to
Yeah.
normal, and I'm so there for it.
I'm there for it too. And I wish like personally for Fortnite, I was a big fan of the OG graphics, like all the fun like cartoony trees, and then
Yeah,
when they like
the
updated
bush
everything. Yeah.
when you could be when you could
Yeah,
be a bush.
when they updated everything though and then like made new graphics and new skin changes to guns, I'm like it kind of ruined my feeling cuz like I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, I liked how it used to look."
yeah.
And like I would play this game if it still looked how it used to look. So if they're
Yeah,
going back now,
'cause I mean, like, yeah,
might re
because there's like because it literally looked like a cartoon.
yeah,
It looked like
like a
this is
cartoon.
a 3D modeled character, but then they started bringing out like the anime characters that
Yeah.
looked like they were
Yeah.
super well drawn and
Yeah.
they put so much detail, and it was like, how about you give us a map that doesn't suck
Yeah. Yeah.
and like doesn't
Yeah.
I can
One
actually
I can
rotate
resonate
on.
with, yeah,
Yeah,
have fun with, yeah.
so
So, yeah.
I know
But
we're seeing like just a lot of good stuff, a lot of good and bad stuff
yeah,
happening in like esports and video games in general. Fortnite doing their stuff. Epic maybe going under.
maybe.
Um, hopefully
Never
not because they
probably.
have some good games, but
I don't think
they
they'll ever
probably
go
won't.
under.
But let's hope they figure out their
Imagine
staffing
Microsoft
problem.
buys them.
That would
Microsoft buys
that
everyone.
has to be a monopoly at that point. Um,
Microsoft will buy every single person.
yeah. So we've got that CS2
S2.
has their problems, but that's going to happen with a new game.
New games happen, but
Call of
hopefully they'll be
Duty,
fine. So,
we've got a new one. It's gonna flop. I hope it
you
flops
hope it
because it doesn't
flops.
deserve to actually do good.
They need to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't say what it is, but they need to do something.
And then
So
Rocket
something
League
different.
also going down the
Send a
drain.
prayer. Send a prayer. Prayer out to
The
Rocket
only
League
thing we've got in Rocket League now is hope that
gaming.
who's the who's the team right now that's running doubles that everybody's been talking about.
Who
It's like
you know?
I keep seeing the same name over and over again. It's like it's not T1, it's I don't know.
V1?
V1.
Probably Daniel and Beast Mode.
I think they okay.
Those
doesn't
2 are,
sound.
like, pretty dang
I was
good. They're pretty
I was
dang
like,
good.
I keep seeing a couple names floating around
Yeah,
Rocket League TikTok.
yeah, it could
That
be Daniel and Calm.
okay,
That team in general has a chance of, like, superstars right there,
okay,
but so
but
far they're
they're Rocket League's last hope at this point. Just
well, I personally think, I mean, EU is dominating right now.
okay.
Like, NA is in the dust right
NA
now.
kind of fumbles when it
Hey,
comes
we were
to
good, now we're not.
NA got world champion in Valorant. That's all that
Yeah, hey,
matters.
hey, there was, probably a point in time where NA was, winning championships. I never keep up a whole lot with whoever wins. I only
Yeah,
watch, like, I watched Moist because it's Moist Critical.
it's moist. Yeah,
It's Moist Critical. So same with like the Moist Moguls on
yeah,
Valorant.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
big
Yeah.
fan of those.
That's funny. That's
Yeah,
funny.
but yeah, I mean, and then last of all, I mean, you mentioned Fortnite, CS2, Modern Warfare, um, Titanfall briefly,
Titanfall briefly.
Fortnite. Overall, like a lot of things going on like recently, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
and like all of this has only happened in the last few weeks.
Yeah, like probably 2 weeks,
Last
right?
two and a
I
half
mean,
weeks.
other than like um, the whole money case with Epic Games, but
Yeah.
that's still coming to a close,
Yep.
here and there. So, not surprised. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Before we head out again, we'd like to mention Passage to Perfection. You know,
Episode 1, I'm in
episode
it.
one. He's
I'm
in
in
it.
it a lot actually.
You are in it a lot. I did watch
They use maybe I'm just like that guy, but
that guy.
I'm in there a
He's that
lot.
guy.
If you're not tired of me yet,
He's
feel
him.
free to go listen to me
He's
some
him,
more.
guys. That guy's him.
It's a really good docuseries about how GCU Esports
Really
has
entertaining,
started,
honestly.
is going, and what we have planned for the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, and it's going to be on the GCU Esports YouTube alongside, hopefully, these podcasts as well as the interview podcasts, where you can also dive more into Evan. You can learn more about what he does in this facility if you guys are ever interested in all that. We'll also have other podcasts from previous last year. You get to learn about facility members, more so management at that point. And what else is on that YouTube channel?
Coaches.
Is
Coaches are on
coaches?
there too.
Yeah, and then do you post broadcasts on there?
Yeah, on our YouTube, if you go to the live page, all
Yeah,
of our past broadcasts, we actually have we do League of Legends
yeah,
every Wednesday and Valorant every Monday, and then our weekly Smash tournament
yeah.
FFF is every Friday.
Yeah, so if that catches any of you guys' attention, honestly, keep your notifications on for the YouTube.
Follow us on
Follow us for
all
sure.
socials.
All
GCU
socials.
Esports. If you look
We
it up,
post
you'll
everywhere.
find it on everywhere.
We post everywhere.
Yep.
So it's
Join the
always good to do
Discord
that.
if you're interested. We
Discord's
always
hey,
post
Discord's
everything there.
really handy.
It
Like
is.
it's really handy. I recommend dabbling with it too.
It's
Um,
everything that you get
so
from socials and
yeah,
YouTube in one
in
spot.
one spot. It's so much easier.
So,
That way you don't have to do everything in multiple places at
yeah.
once.
Thanks for
But
yeah.
thanks for
Thanks for
listening.
sticking it out with us, guys.
Good
Once
day.
again, I'm Evan
I'm Evan.
Narwhal. With me was,
Bean Boy. My name's Corbin though.
and we will
People call
catch you
me Bean.
guys in the next lounge.
Next lounge. Peace out, people.